All right, so I want to show you guys this. This is after going to the movie Afraid yesterday. I told you guys I think everybody should watch it. It's absolutely staggering, completely staggering to go see it, because I know that this female thing is AI now. There's no doubt about it, zero doubt. That's why they had the top of the hendecagram come together with two females. I was doing that AI stuff a while back on some videos. When Google introduced AI, I said, here it comes. It's the end of the hendecagram. Now, here you go. Just listen to this real quick.
You heard about the AI demon?
I have.
The story, for those who haven't heard it before, is an AI engineer or artist was experimenting and plugged in, said, give me a picture of Marlon Brando. And a picture of Brando pops up. And this person was trying to explore the breadth of the map that AI is processing. So I said, okay, show me the opposite of this. And it shows a landscape or something. So, okay, show me the opposite of that. So you think, okay, maybe that shows you Brando again, right? It's the opposite of the opposite. But it doesn't. It shows this woman, this withered old hag that this artist calls Loab. And then the artist inputs generated pictures of heaven, angelic choirs and worshiping God, and inputs that, juxtaposes it with the Loab, this demon-looking lady. And what the AI spits out are the most gruesome images: snuff, sexual abuse, violence, all this hideous, almost as if you presented an image of heaven to a demon.
Yeah.
Maybe the craziest part of it is, apparently this Loab demon AI lady persists. That is, she's kind of separated from a lot of the other images in the map. And so AI seems to like her. She keeps popping up. She doesn't get smeared and blurred with all the other images. And I'm reading about this and I'm thinking, is this just some weird, quirky coincidence, or is this a demon?
No.
Okay. All right, so this is the image that AI produced first. Digita, and then this image right here is what AI produced. And then after this, when it said do the opposite of that, they were expecting that it would go back to Marlon Brando. So now let me show you what ensued after that. Yeah, so anyway, so let me show you what it produced after this image, when it said, go basically do the opposite of Marlon Brando, which was this. And then it said, okay, go back. What's the opposite of this? Thinking it would go back to Marlon Brando, but here's what it produced. Let's see, here we go. So here's what it started producing. When you see this right now and you go watch the movie I told you to go watch, and you realize it started producing snuff films, sex, porn films, murder, sex films, all kinds of just twisted female demonic crap, but it was centered around female. So now again, it was all centered around this female thing. And it produced some just horrifying imagery. But it seemed to want to stick with the female entity that kept recirculating through whatever the searches were. So anyway, this just further confirms what I was telling you last night. Now I'm going to show you the language of angels and what's going on. Yeah, let me just grab my screen real quick, and I'm just going to show you some thumbnails. You guys can go watch it. You'll get the idea. You'll see all these gang guys holding AKs. I'll just kind of float over this. Migrant gangs coming over, taking over apartment buildings. 3. Now remember, 3 means the angel of the bottomless pit if you speak the language the Lord has taught me. And by the way, just as a caveat, in the Bible, the book of Daniel, Daniel was given very supernatural gifts, and he could interpret things that others couldn't. I just want to let you know, this is something that the Lord has taught me over years. It's not just looking at a number and going, oh, that's going to be in the Bible. It's not just that. It's a full understanding of the manifestation of the female entity through the host body system. And that's what it is. So I'm able to see the iron that's mixed with the miry clay and the manifestation of her within the system. It's recognizing her tree. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because I see people try and copy what I do. If you want to get yourself in a rabbit hole you can't get out of, go ahead and do what I do. Try it. I've watched so many people lose their minds and spin out and go off the deep end trying to do what the Lord has taught me to do. It's a gift. It's a supernatural spiritual gift. So unless you think you can go lay hands on someone that's blind and they see, unless you think you can, unless you've done these things, which the Lord has had me do, I've laid hands on people that are blind and they see incurable diseases and they're well. So the Lord had me do those things before he taught me this language. Do you understand? So if you think you're just going to be able to, oh, look, I'll see a number and pick it up, you've lost your mind. Don't do it. It's not that you can't recognize something and go, wow, maybe that is a word that's in the Bible. That's okay. But if you think you're going to start teaching it, you've lost your mind. Okay, I'm just telling you, there's a caveat. I'm sick of watching people shoot off the deep end into unrecoverable positions because they thought they could do it. Don't do it. Okay, again, here it is. Heavily armed migrant gang takes over 3 apartment buildings in Colorado. Let me show you this guy from Colorado, and just very briefly, I'll just try and say beep when he went to Aurora. By the way, in Aurora, Colorado, Aurora means the dawn. The dawn. Now, I want you to remember what happened in Hawaii. Remember the symbology of the rising sun? I showed you that's Obama's logo, the rising sun. He's the Antichrist. The rising sun, the sun rising in the west. What's the furthest west in the United States? Hawaii. So the sun rising from the place of its setting. So they hit Colorado with dew weapons and destroyed the entire area, took over the land. A lot of children missing. There's a channel called Hustle Bitch, and they got to him. He had some really good vids. But he even did a video saying they got to me, that he was taken out by the powers that be. So the sun rising from the place of its setting was the manifestation of that dew weapon, like the sun just burning everything. Now, here in Colorado, a gang called Tren de Auragua, I believe it's Auragua. I'm going to show you the spiritual meaning of that name. I'm going to show you the spiritual manifestation of numerology associated with the whole thing. It's not arguable. Watch. Ready? Here's something this guy's saying, that stuff in Colorado is...
And be prepared for that shit to get taken. I mean, that might be fear-mongering, or whatever the fuck Kamala Harris want to say, but that's fear-mongering. No, it's fucking not. This is reality right here. This is like 10 toes down in the state. So if you're wondering what's happening with Colorado, that's what's happening, all right? This ain't no fear-mongering. There are people being charged rent out in this apartment complex, bro. They called the FBI. They said they could do nothing about it. They called the state. Colorado PD. All of them, dude. No, they can't do nothing about it. Oh.
Okay, so now here's the thing. There's just a guy that's a witness. You could go watch his whole thing on X. It's pretty mind-boggling that, you would have gangs that, see, the open borders represent, what the open borders represent is the pit open, the borders open, the wall's been breached. I saw that in the movie I saw yesterday called Afraid. They're manifesting it. So the system is she, it's her. She will manifest what she is, and she is manifesting right now. And so the borders are open, representing the pits open, and this energy's coming up, taking over the host body system, and she's manifesting what she is, okay? And I can see it, and I can read it. So now let me show you some stuff that manifests as well. So the governor said that he dismisses the migrant gang takeover of apartments as imagination, despite video of mayor confirming the truth. So the governor of Colorado is like, oh no, it's just your imagination. It's not even real. Okay. Did you see the guy that just told you it was real? Because he went there and he saw it. He's from Colorado, so I believe him. I don't believe the governor. I've seen too many videos showing it. And people that are from there saying, no, these people have lost their minds. This is what's going on. You know what? Let me play one more segment of this guy because he said some stuff that's absolutely profound. Watch this.
Oh, and they're also called the marshals, from what I hear. Nothing they can do about it, apparently. Nothing you can do about immigrants taking over an apartment complex by force? What? Make it make sense.
There you go. See, because in the end of the world, nothing's going to make sense to you unless you understand that the pit is open. It's taking over the puppet show. The puppet show is the host body system, the beast, and the woman that rides the beast is the female entity from the pit. Hell hath enlarged herself beyond measure. She's coming out. She's taking over everything now. She took over the Olympic closing ceremony. She showed you. Lucifer was out there with his worms coming up. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. The girl riding on top of the water represents on top of the water. In the Bible, the word water is semen, male energy. She's on top of it. She's riding the pale horse on top of it. Death is riding on top of the water. Do you get it? Then she gets off and she walks and she hands a flag and they raise it upside down. I mean, I'm the upside down guy, right? I'm the guy that told you the whole thing is upside down. If you want to know the truth, you have to invert the world. Acts 17.6. So they want to take out Paul and Silas. So they assaulted the home of Jason. And they said, these that have turned the world upside down have come hither also, and they're disturbing our city. Because see, when we get converted, we're in their system. We came into their system. The system is hers. We're from heaven. We're angels. We're his. And so we belong to him. She owns the system. And all the little babies, including you and me, she owns us. And if we get born again, we become toxic to her system and she wants us out. Okay, that's the whole story. It's totally provable. But now let me show you some of this stuff now. So the governor said it's just it's imagination. It's not even real. That guy just said it's totally real. I don't believe the governor. I'm sorry. They've lost all credibility. All politicians have lost credibility now. Okay, now I don't know if you guys remember this, but on Obama's passport from Indonesia, when Stanley Ann Dunham tried to get him out of there and she put on her passport renewal, Barack Hussein Sobarka, Soebarkah, backwards, that's Hakrab Eos. Hakrab Eos, Sobarka, backwards. Watch this. So, in a Google search, you do Sobarka, and it brings up that, so Stanley Ann Dunham's passport renewal for Barack right here, she put Sobarka on his Indonesian passport renewal. That's Sobarka. That was Lolo Sotero, I think, but she put Sobarka. Here we go. And Stanley Ann Dunham was in the cult of Subud, which means cult of the Subud, which is the rising sun. Probably just a coincidence. In the Bible, the word Akrab means a scorpion. Right here, figuratively a scourge or knotted whip, which is what we're being scourged with. Strong's Hebrew right here. So I will chastise you with scorpions, Hakrab. I will challenge you. I will discipline you with scorpions. So we're being disciplined with scorpions, and I will chasten you with scorpions, Hakrab. So Hakrab Eos. Now let me show you what Eos means. Eos, we'll do Google Images. I'll show you Google Images. So Hakrab Eos, which is Sobarka backwards, like right here is Sobarka. See it? Sobarka. Hakrab, and now watch this. Eos is goddess of the dawn. Eos, goddess of the dawn. There it is. I mean, look, there it is. Eos, Greek goddess of the dawn, goddess of the dawn. Eos, goddess of the dawn, goddess of the dawn, goddess of the dawn. So there's Eos, Greek goddess. So the name Sobarka backwards. The name Sobarka is Scorpion, Goddess of the Dawn. That's the name Sobarka that was on Barack's Indonesian passport renewal. So let's see, maybe we can see if that pops up. Let's see if that'll pop up. They may have scrubbed it, but I've got it in videos. You can go watch the sun rising in the west. Let's see, Google Images. Sorry. So here it is right here. So here's the passport renewal. I think hopefully they haven't all scrubbed it. On the back, she wrote Sobarka. Let's see. So back when Joe Arpaio was doing this, I saved all the information. So maybe there, you know, you can go look at it yourself. But on the back of her passport renewal, she wrote for on the back. So they're showing the front. They don't want to show you the back. There it is. I think that's it right there. She had it scratched out. Isn't that fascinating that they scrubbed it? I think I found it. Here it is. There it is. Barack Hussein Sobarka. See right here? Soebarkah. Hakrabios. Right there. So they're trying to scrub it, but there is her passport renewal. That's his CIA mom. And there is Barack Hussein Sobarka. It says Obama Sobarka. And it's scratched out. The PP Simmons group did a fantastic video on it. Sobarka backwards is Hakrab, which is Scorpion, Goddess of the Dawn. That's not even remote. I hope you guys understand. What I just showed you is so miraculous that your jaw should be on the ground. Barack Obama, his passport renewal from Indonesia. His mother was in a cult called Subud, which is the rising sun in Hawaii. When they burned Lahaina, it means cruel, merciless sun. That's what Lahaina means, cruel, merciless sun. And they burned that whole place. And then the logo was a rising sun. Obama's logo for his presidency is the sun rising over the stripes of the American flag. So the sun rising from the west in the Hadith, like, you know, the Quran, the Hadith, the other book, it says the coming of the Mahdi shall be preceded by the sun rising from the place of its setting, which is the west. So Obama's logo is the sun rising over the west, the stripes of the American flag. I mean, it's so freaking obvious. It's stupid now. It's that obvious. His name, Sobarka, means scorpion, goddess of the dawn. Probably no big deal. I mean, really? And now Venezuelan gangs are taking over because the border is open, and Kamala and, you know, this lunatic that's I can't remember his name, the guy from the border. I mean, I can't even watch the guy. He's such a liar. He's claiming, oh, there's no border problem. What's the border guy? You know, everybody someone mentioned it in the comments. Anyway, I watched Dan Bongino rip him a new one, and I was like, you know, at least somebody's up there ripping him one. But, so anyway, the pit is funneling in from a dimension, that energy, that female energy, and it's just taking over the whole system right now. That's what's going on. It's taking over the host body system. So, and pretty soon your electronics and all your stuff will be it's going to take over. So now we have the same manifestation in Colorado. Watch this. So Lahaina, watch this. Let's do Lahaina. Remember, Lahaina got burned to pieces, like right here. But look at this, Lahaina strong. What do they have here? just like Jonathan Kleck said, the right side up, upside down tree. Look at that. There it is. Lahaina. Okay, what happened in Lahaina? It was torched by a dew weapon. There it is. The whole thing got torched by a dew weapon. Everybody knows it. Okay, now, Lahaina, Hawaii, logo. Let's see, state. Hang on. Question, does this show the pit coming up, taking over the tree of life? Yes or no? Does that look like what that represents? Well, the fist is coming from below and it's grabbing the life, like we've come up and we've got it now. So let's see if they can give us a seal. Let me see if I can do this and if it'll show me this. Here we go. Now, everybody pay very close attention now. Look at this. There's see, what do you see right here? You see the sun rising? Yes? Now, let me ask you if you notice this. Okay, let's do this. So, you have a white up here. Okay, so you have the star in the middle. And you have these two color schemes. And you have the star in the middle, and you have the sun rising. Now, let's go to the folder. Just pay attention. This is the Lahaina, or the Hawaii logo, and this is the Lahaina thing that was going on, and I got to see it all. Now you have Venezuelan gangs that, Mayorkas, that's the guy. Mayorkas, oh, there's no border thing going on. See, they're importing all these criminals and all these people into the United States. And now let me show you what's going on in the spiritual world. Let me show you. Ready? Y'all ready? Here you go. Let me show you Aurora. You see that? I'm sorry, Auragua. So you see that word Auragua right there? You see the female holding the crown? Just like, remember the Olympics was all about the female energy and the crown, the wreath. He went out conquering and to conquer, and he was given a crown. It's a chaplet, a wreath. Okay, watch this. Yes or no? Is that a female angel holding like a wreath, a crown? Yes or no? You see the word Auragua? Is that the rising sun? Yes or no? Is it two different plants tied together at the bottom? Yes or no? Is this show like a building burning, like a house, like representing what us? I mean, that's what it's going to represent. They burned what was in it. Now, let me show you. Ready for this? Here you go. Ready? Here's the name of the gang that's taking over the apartment buildings. Tren de Auragua. So, Tren de Auragua is the largest criminal organization in Venezuela with over 5,000 members. Tren de Auragua. Auragua, okay? So, that's the name of the gang that's taking over the apartment buildings. What's the connection? Well, let's see. What's the word Auragua? Oh, wow, look at Auragua. Look at the seal for Auragua. Does that remind you of another seal right there? Oh, you mean it's identical to the Hawaiian thing? You mean where they torched everything? Yeah, it's identical. See, Auragua, Lahaina, there you go. Now, watch. And it's female energy taking over. Every time the Lord lets me show you this, it's right. You want to see the language of angels manifest? Here's the lunatic saying, oh, nothing's wrong. I went and looked up Auragua. The name of the Venezuelan state, Auragua, comes from an indigenous, now don't forget, female energy created this place. They're the originals. So indigenous word, Caribbean origin that refers to a jaguaramo, a type of palm tree in the region. Some say the word came from the Caribbean word Auragua, which is a combination of de ar and gua, which comes from Ogun, my thing. This would mean my place, my country. So that's what Auragua would mean. My place, my country. So they've got the border open because it represents the pit coming up, just like the hand in Lahaina, grabbing the tree of life. We've got you now. The pit, death is resurrecting, taking over life. That's what's going on. I can see it clear as day. Now, here it is. My place, my country. Now watch this. Let me show you a little something that's just beyond impossible. Okay, now there's the governor that says he thinks it's really in your imagination. But look right here. It says 971 comments, 119 shares. Okay, now I know you may be thinking, well, that's just the number of shares and comments. You know what? Everything's orchestrated. It's orchestrated. So if I show you those numbers, and they are significant, to a gang taking over 3 apartment complexes. 3 is the angel of the bottomless pit. So that represents the angel of the bottomless pit taking over 3. And then let's look at these other numbers real quick. Let's look at the number 971 and the number 119. Okay, so let's look at 971. 971. What does 971 mean? To use force, force my way, come forward violently. I am forcibly treated, suffer violence. Is that what they're doing? So these guys are coming up, forcibly taking over, and it just happens to be 971. I use force. Just look at it. Are they using force? And you're telling me that the number 971 in any way could be associated with this whole story. It is taken by violence. Heaven suffers violence, and violent men are try to take it. So that's what you're seeing. Forcibly laying hold of something. To forcibly lay hold of something with positive aggressiveness. Yes or no? Is that what's going on right here? Okay, well, let's go back and look at another number. What was the other number that it showed number of likes or whatever? Let's see. Let me see right here. I believe it was right here. Yep, 971 and 119. Let's look at the number 119. 119. So let's see. I believe. Let me see if this is 119 real quick. Oh, that's perfect. A contest, a conflict, contest. Let's go to Lahaina. Lahaina, let me ask you a question. So, in the Lahaina thing, does that look like a contest right here? Does it look like the pit coming up and trying to take over what's above the pit? Yes or no? That's exactly what it is. So now you've seen the spiritual meaning of all this. So now you know. Now go watch the movie Afraid and try and process what the Lord's allowed me to show you. It's the end of the world. If you're not ready, you're not ready. You're going to be taken by an evil that's so great. And if you don't turn back to the Lord God with your whole heart right now, I am telling you, the evil that's going to take you over, you won't be able to resist it from where it comes because it's inside of you. You got to cut the cord to the pit, get converted, inverted, so you can get out of here. No one's leaving here in their bodies. Anyone that's trying to hold on to your flesh, you're done. Whoever tries to save his life will lose it. Whoever loses his life for my sake will have eternal life and find true life. So let go of holding on, okay? All right, sorry I got a little bit of a headache today, guys. I've got a lot on my plate, way too much. Good time, if you can, to help support the ministry. For those of y'all that know how to do it, you can PayPal to jk@jonathankleck.com if you want. Our P.O. Box, P.O. Box 91281, San Antonio, Texas, 78209. If you want to support the ministry, appreciate it. Everything's just a gift. There's no write-offs, no nothing. Just help us keep going. That's it. All right. Pretty crazy, huh? What did I tell you? Okay, you know what? Let's do a quick bear hug cult. We are the bear hug cult. There's you. There's me. I'll give you a hug. I got a little bit of a headache, so I'm not all smiley, but I love you in Christ. and I'm still here, and I'm going to stay here as long as the Lord allows me to stay here. The good news is Jesus told Pilate, when Pilate said he had the power to set him free or to crucify him, Jesus said, you would have no power over me at all except that which is given to you from above. Always remember that. Okay. Peace and grace.